Hello, my name is Alima Dikir. I'm from Mongolia. I was born and raised in Mongolia. I came here 12 years ago and I live in Washington DC area with my husband and 4 children. Hello. In Mongolian we say Sambano, which means hello in Mongolian. This is Mongolia. Mongolia is located in Central Asia, between Russia and China. And Mongolia has 3 million population, and Mongolia has 1,564,000 square kilometers. And Mongolia is the 18th largest country and most sparsely populated country in the world. Flag, it signifies, it has blue and red colors on the side, and this is the symbol of eternity and longevity and good life. Mongolia has 3 million people, and 30% of the population live in the countryside. They're nomadic. The horse riding is very popular. People do horse riding as sports and transportation as well. And also Mongolia has lots of camels, horses, sheep, and goats. 95% of Mongolians live in Mongolian language, although there is several other ethnic languages are spoken. This is how Mongolian script is written from top to down. In modern days, people use Cyrillic, which Russians use as well, but this is the ancient script. The costume I'm wearing is called Dale. And the particular one I'm wearing is used for ceremonial and special occasions. And this one is used for everyday use for young girl. These are for toddlers. And they're usually made out of silk. This is a long one. And this is for the young girl. Mongolia has 3 main sports. The most popular sport is called horse riding, horse racing. The next one is archery, and next one is wrestling. These are the 3 main traditional sports. And also people do riding camels, and a lot of Mongolians started practicing sumo wrestling in Japan as well, and they became the world champion as well. And of course, young children play soccer and basketball and all the modern sports as well. Mongolian traditional house is called ger, G-E-R, ger. And this is basically a tent. It's like a tent made out of felt. And the nomadic people live in this home and can transport their home from place to another in order to take care of their nomadic livestock. And these are the Mongolian countryside, and we have lots of blue lakes and mountains, and also Mongolia has desert in the south. It's called Gobi Desert, and lots of sand dunes, and Mongolia has 300 days of the year with blue sky. So the country is really called the country of blue sky, Blue Mongolia. And do you know why Chinese built Great Wall of China? Because they built this in order to protect themselves from nomadic Mongolians. And Genghis Khan, who was born in 1162, he was the one who was trying to invade China and a lot of other countries as well. And Mongolia was once the biggest empire in the world.
What about that one?
This young lady is wearing a Mongolian traditional costume, Dale, and she has lots of jewelries. And because Mongolia is rich in gold and silver and lots of minerals. And these are the samples of minerals came from Mongolia. And 80% of the Mongolia's economy comes from the mineral resources. And Mongolia is also rich in copper, and copper is used widely for everyday life. This is like a thermos where they keep their tea. It's a kettle, and this cup is made out of silver. They use this cup for drinking. This is also used for putting drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Mongolia is known as the land of the eternal blue sky, or country of blue sky, and because it has 300 sunny days a year. Most of the country is hot in the summer and extremely cold in the winter, with January averages dropping as low as minus 30 Celsius. A vast front of cold, heavy snowfall comes from the Siberia and Russia side. And in order to heat their homes and apartments and buildings, Mongolia used a lot of coal. This is the sample of coal came from Mongolia. And there's power stations that burn this coal to generate heat, and using the hot water tubes, they send it through the buildings and offices. And these are the samples of minerals that came from Mongolia as well. And these are the dolls, Mongolian dolls, also wearing traditional costumes. This is my family wearing traditional costume here. Because Mongolia has a lot of horses and animals and sheep and goats, we use those raw materials to produce lots of leather good and export and import to other countries. This is a leather glove made in Mongolia. And cashmere is also one of the things we import to other countries. And the cashmere from Mongolia is one of the finest cashmeres in the world. And this is a yak wool socks. Because Mongolian winter is extremely cold, people have to wear really warm clothes from head to toe. Hats, scarves, and gloves, and thick coats. The typical Mongolian child will get up early in the morning and help start the fire in the home, because there is no central heating for the traditional home. They will start making their tea, and they'll go outside and feed their animals and milk the cow and bring more in firewood and process some of the milk they milk. And I used to get up at between 5 and 6 a.m. as a young girl, and then I will do all my chores and heat up the house and go to school at 8 a.m. And from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. I will be in school, and then after school come back and eat some lunch, because we don't pack lunch in Mongolia. Most kids would come home and have their lunch, and then after lunch they'll start doing their housework and chores, because if you have animals, there's lots of things to take care of. And then you do your homework and you do your dinner before your parents come, and then you have to milk your cow again in the evening, and then you make dinner and do your dishes. Then you start doing your homework at around 7:38 and go to bed at 9 p.m. And I should have mentioned something else. Also, while I was growing up, we did not have water in the house or toilet in the house. We have an outhouse in the property, and we also need to fetch water, like 200 liters of water every day, which is like 6 gallons of container. I have to go back and forth many times to collect water. This painting is called Mongling Negodur, which means Mongolian one day. This basically shows how life is run in one day in Mongolian countryside. You see some of these people are working with their sheep, some bringing animal dung to make a firewood, some riding on their camels for transportation, riding horses, and some may be preparing for their horse racing, and this person is making their tea, and some preparing their hay in the winter. Okay. Mongolian traditional food consists of boz and hoshur, which is like a fried dumpling or steamed dumpling. And also this is traditional bread. It's a long bread cookie type of thing. You layer them up and put the dried curds, yogurt and cheese and some candies. And Mongolians' diet consists of lots of meat. So we roast beef and lamb and goat. The capital city of Mongolia is called Ulaanbaatar, which is Red Hero. This is Sukhbatar Square, which is the main square in the downtown Ulaanbaatar. And this is the Parliament House. And Mongolian capital city is very modern, although the countryside is rural. It's in nighttime in Mongolia. Lots of high rises. And this is the night in Mongolia. Reopened the old trade routes from Europe. Are you filming? Oh, sorry. Let's start again. I messed up. The Mongols were the last of the nomadic horse-riding people from the Central Asia who invaded the towns and farms of Asia and Europe. Under Genghis Khan, they conquered land stretching from China to Eastern Europe. It was the largest empire the world had seen. And the Mongol tribes moved around the plain of East Central Asia with their herds of sheep, goats, and cattle. The leader of the tribe, called Genghis Khan, united them in about 1206. He dreamed of ruling the world, and under his leadership, the Mongols conquered the large empire with amazing speed. Let's wait for them. Ready? Mm-hmm. The Mongol conquest reopened the old trade routes from Europe to the east. Adventurous Italian traders followed the old Silk Road to China. One of these was a young man called Marco Polo. He met the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan, who was the grandson of Genghis Khan, in 1275. And it's shown in the painting below that Marco Polo receives the emperor's golden seal. The emperor seems to have hired him as a government official. Marco Polo's Asian travels lasted 24 years, and when he returned to Italy, he told his story to someone who wrote a book about him. These tales a great strange civilization about the East astonished Europe. Some people thought the story was made up, but Marco Polo certainly told stories to the rest of the world about East. This is the little sample, little model instrument. In real life, the instrument is really big, but this is just a souvenir. This instrument is called mörünghor, which means horse fiddle. It's similar like string instrument, like violin, and the strings are made out of horsehair, and it makes a beautiful noise. That's how you play the instrument. Mongolia has two main holidays. One of them called Tsagansar, which means white moon. It happens every year in February. It's more like Christmas over here, similar because all the family members gather together eat and exchange gifts and greet and pay respect to their elders. The other holiday is called Nadam, which means three main games: horse riding, archery, and wrestling. Those three main sports are played during that festival. It happens every year in July 11th through 12th. The Mongolian Games children play. This is made out of horse wool. It's like a chess set. It has horses and camels and animals. It's just like a chess set. The other toy is called shaga, which is ankle bone from animals like sheep and goats. The way you play is you throw the ankle bones, and if you these ones are called goats. So if these two are same goats, you just do this and take one, and this side is called sheep. And now I see two goats again. Then you match. Oh, I missed it, but you're supposed to do this and take one away. And this side is called camel, and this side is called horse. So basically each ankle has four sides: sheep, goat, camel, and horse. So 2 by 2, you match them and do this and take one, and until you take. So whoever gets the most pieces win the game.
And what's that called?
Shagai, ankle bone.
Okay.